Life sucks when you stop doing new things. You see, I just went for a run and I went for 8 miles. That's farther than I've ever gone, and I feel great because that's farther than I've ever gone. And sometimes I just go on runs for like 75 minutes, and I've been doing that for a while. And honestly, like I stopped the first time I did it, it was like, "Oh my god, I just ran over 7 miles." But after you do it a couple times, it's like I'm proud of myself, but like I've done that before. And that might not seem like a real, like, scary or dangerous thing, but I'll tell you it's a slippery slope because when you stop, like, pushing yourself and you stop, like, doing new things, things that scare you, things that you don't think you can do, but you try anyway, and sometimes you make it and sometimes you don't, like, that's what keeps life exciting. And if you don't do anything that you don't think you can do, like, if you stay in your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone, that is where you will die. I think that's a quote by, like, Steve Harvey. But it's like, if you and another thing is, like, if you stay in your comfort zone, life gets real boring, and that's a really dangerous situation because life is also hard. It's hard no matter what you do. I say this a lot, but it's like, it's hard to be obese. It's also hard to eat right and exercise, but no matter what, it's hard. And when life is hard and it's boring, it's like, what am I doing this for? What am I working through? Like, life is, I'm working hard just to be bored? What? And that's the problem. Because life is essentially meaningless if you don't do new shit. If you don't do things that scare you, if you don't do things that excite you, if you don't do things that, like, the point of life is to live. It's to do things you've never done before. It's like with anything, even with, like, some substances, like, you get a tolerance so quickly. Like, people smoke weed, and then they're always, like, they keep smoking to, like, chase the how they felt the first time they smoked, and it's the same thing, it's like with other stuff, and, like, the first time you watch a movie, it can be incredible or it can be awful. And because of that, me and a lot of my friends, like, we just rewatch the old stuff, and it's like, we know it'll be good, but it's like, I've seen this before, like, what am I doing? Like, you work hard all week just to, like, sit at home and watch movies you've already seen on the weekend? No. No. The core of man's spirit comes from new experiences. That is, from Into the Wild, and if you don't know what Into the Wild is, it's a book about this guy who's really just not thrilled with the way the world is set up, and he decides to, like, abandon all his possessions. He, like, hitchhikes across the country. He has a lot of cool experiences, and he eventually dies, but, like, if you read the book and watch the movie, it's like he did what most people are way too scared to do. And sometimes I'm frustrated with the way the world works. I'm often frustrated with the way the world works. So I talk about it and I do things that other people would never do. Like, people come up to me all the time. They're like, "It's awesome you're doing the podcast, man. Like, that takes a lot of balls." And I'm like, "Yeah, but thank you." But it's like, I don't know. I wanna shake some shit up. I'm not really thrilled with the way the world is being run right now. So Imma do my own thing, see what happens. And it's scary. Today on my run, some normally I just go on the trail and I go on the same trail every time and it's like, I've done this before. But today I went for a run and I just started running down random roads I've never been. And I didn't even know if I was gonna like get lost or like end up somewhere where I have no idea where I am. That's kind of the same thing as getting lost, but like I knew I was gonna be fine, and that's the thing. It's like, "Oh my god, what if you go for a run and you get lost?" It's like, I got a phone. I could call someone, and if not, I can, like, walk until I see someone. I'm like, "Hey, can I call my family?" I have no idea where I am. And that's the thing, like, things are scary, but you're probably gonna be fine because not doing anything that scares you is a recipe for disaster. I've made that dish, I followed that recipe, and it's a disaster. It tastes awful. And this right before I went for my run, I was looking outside, it's snowy where I am, and I just got new running shoes for Christmas. Thanks, Santa. But it was like my option and so it was snowy, and I just got new shoes, and I was like, "I can't really go on the trail because I don't wanna get my new shoes snowy." And I coulda like so I coulda gone on the trail or I coulda gone on the road. And I didn't really wanna go on the road either because I like running on the trail better, but, like, those were my options, and my other option was stay home. And it's like there's always a reason. I think the expression is actually there's always 1,000 reasons not to do something, but you can't let that stop you. Like, the things look at your options and you pick one of them. Don't just do nothing. Like, I'm so happy I went for a run instead of just staying home because I didn't wanna get my new shoes dirty. Like, my shoes are always gonna get dirty. They're on your feet, and your feet's on the ground, and the earth is a dirty place. It's a dirty place. That's like that's the conundrum. I just got these new shoes for Christmas. I think they're pretty cool. And every time I get new shoes, it's like, "Oh, I don't really wanna wear them because I don't wanna get them dirty." It's like, then shoes are meant to be worn, life is meant to be lived. Get that through your head. And like your shoes are gonna get dirty. And if you live life, you're gonna get banged up. You're gonna fail. And failure, I remember this today, but I've been neglecting it in my recent, like the past month. It's like failing is a good thing. Failing is a good thing. And today's world, everyone is so afraid to fail. It's like at least you tried. And when you do fail, it means you tried. So it's dead ass like failing is a good thing. And if something doesn't work, you can pivot and try again. And one of these days, you're gonna do something phenomenal. You're gonna shake up the world. There's a clip of Muhammad Ali. It's been on my mind recently. He's like, I shook up the world. Like Muhammad Ali has lost fights. He's probably lost a lot of fights, especially in the beginning. You get banged up whenever you're trying something new for the first time. But if you don't try new things, life gets boring. And a boring life is not worth living because life is hard. Like, it's not worth the hard work. kind of like these 10-minute videos. But your life is like a pair of, this is how I'm going to wrap up. Life is like a pair of shoes. And they're brand new and they look amazing. And you don't want anything to happen to them. And those shoes are you. You don't want anything to happen to you. But shoes are meant to be worn and you are meant to do stuff. And shoes are going to get dirty and you're going to get banged up. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make other people mad. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't wear the shoes. It doesn't mean you shouldn't live your life. It doesn't mean you shouldn't try new things. Because when you stop doing new things, life gets boring. And life is hard. And when your life is boring, you're like, what am I doing all this hard work for? And that's a scary place to be. So do the things that scare you. Get those shoes dirty. Live your life. The point of life is living. So shake up the world. I love you. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. But most importantly, thanks for watching. I got a shower because I'm sweaty. Amen.